Hey guys, welcome back to Matt's Kitchen. Today we are going to do a chicken sausage Alfredo. Here's a little bit of the diced chicken that I did. I cleaned it just like I did in the very first video that you guys have seen, and used about 2 cups. So here we're going to start all our Alfredo sauce. We're going to start off with a simple roux, which is equal parts of fat and flour. You can use different types of fat, whether it's an oil, Crisco, whatever. Here I'm just using regular old country time butter. That's what we had in the fridge. I went in and melted the butter and I started mixing it up. And what you're going to be looking for is slightly less than a peanut butter consistency. And as you can tell, I mismeasured somewhere. So I have to add a little bit more fat to my mixture. And then as that butter melts and starts mixing, always whisk it. Don't stop, because if you do, it'll start to burn, it'll stick. And then you got to start all over. You want to let that mixture cook for about 2 or 3 minutes. So you cook the flour flavor out of it, and that'll be called a blonde roux. And if you keep going, then it kind of turns to a brown roux. Either one will kind of work for this, but more of a blonde. You're just using simple heavy cream, you guys. I use about a quart. Make a decent amount of sauce for feeding the family. So it's critical that the first little bit that you put in is just a little bit, then you start mixing it. If you add too much at once, you're gonna end up with roux balls, and those do not cook out, and they're just little balls of roux, and they're not good. So that leaves you with a clumpy, lumpy sauce. So as you continue to see, it takes a lot of time to start this part of it, but it's well worth it. You gotta add a little bit of love to your food, and this is definitely the loving part. Make sure you get the sides of your pan back and forth. Very, very slow. You're going to go to a peanut butter consistency, and then you're going to start to see it kind of loosen up more as you add more and more heavy cream. And then once you get to a certain point, we're not quite there yet, but almost, and then you can speed up your cream that you're dropping in. And always just keep whisking, get your bottoms, get your sides. You don't want it to burn, you don't want it to stick. Because once you do that, then you got to throw it away and start all over. So, still adding my heavy cream. Like I said, this is a slow process that takes a little while. But I'm almost to the point where I can speed up and add it faster and faster. So, once you do that, then you're at a good point. I do have it at about a medium temperature. Once it comes to a simmer, not quite a boil, but I want it to simmer, I'll turn it down to low and just kind of let it start thickening. Let the roux do its job as a thickening agent. And then while I'm doing that, I'll have my pasta water going to cook my pasta. Then I'll cook the sausage. Then I'll cook the chicken. And kind of have multiple things going on at once. If you're not sure if you can do that, do one, set it aside, do the other, because you can always reheat. And sorry, I had to pause for a breath. But so here we got about 2 cups of dried pasta. My pasta water was going. I'm gonna drop my penne in. I'm gonna cook it between 15 and 18 minutes. I want it al dente. That, guys, is a nice little trick. You put your wooden spoon over there as your pasta's boiling, and it'll keep your pasta water from boiling up and over your pot. You always want to taste it. I like mine a little al dente, so that way it's not too starchy and it's not overcooked. And you make pretty good pasta. Go ahead and strain it out, you guys. This is always a cool picture. Be careful not to burn yourselves. That steam is hot, and it will leave nice burns, nice good red marks on your hands and your face if you get too close. I'm going to strain it. I'm going to put it in the bowl, and I'm going to set it aside. Here is about a 10-inch heavy-duty skillet pan that I always use. I use about a pound of ground hot Italian sausage that I went ahead and seasoned it even more with about 2 tablespoons of oregano, 2 tablespoons of basil, and of course I like garlic, so I went ahead and did about 3 tablespoons of granulated garlic, and then a touch of salt and pepper to help bring out those flavors and those tastes. So I'm going to adjust the temperature, kind of a high to medium heat, medium to high, sorry, and I'm going to go ahead and let it all cook up. And then stir it around so I'm not burning it, and get all the seasonings nice and mixed up. Just a wooden spoon works, and then As you can see, it's all grounded up. And then once it's fully cooked, I'm going to go ahead and set it in a bowl. I lined it with paper towel to help absorb all the extra grease and fat from the sausage. So then our chicken that we diced up, I'm going to use the same pan because chicken has a higher internal temperature of 165 degrees, so I'll cook that second. You can use the same pan because you still got all the flavoring, a little bit left over the fat from the sausage, so it helps flavor your chicken and all that. Like I said, about the same seasoning, the oregano, the basil, the garlic, a touch of salt and pepper. So as this is cooking, I've also been stirring the Alfredo sauce. As you can see, it's a nice good simmer. So we're going to go ahead and take about 2 cups of grated Romano cheese. We're going to pour it in there. Keep whisking and stirring so that way it doesn't clump up. Of course, you're going to want to let that cook out and all that cheese melt to a nice smooth consistency. And of course, because I am Italian, I do like a little bit more cheese. And it's actually a twofold process because if your roux hasn't thickened up fully, when you add that cheese and it melts down, it will thicken your sauce. So be careful with how much you put in. And you're always going to want to make sure that it's nice and smooth and stir it. And then you're going to test it. Dip your spoon in, pull it out, taste it. If it's grainy, you let it cook some more. And of course, you want a nappe, which, as you just saw, is when the sauce coats the spoon. So that's actually helpful because then you know it's going to coat your pasta. So once the sauce is done, I'm still going to leave it on a light simmer. Go back to my chicken. I tested it. Broke a couple pieces open. Internal temperature of 165. We're done. I'm going to do like the sausage and put it in a bowl with paper towel to help catch any excess drain and juice. So here's our sauce ready. And as you can see, I'm pouring the sausage in first. Being careful not to get all that grease that you can see on the paper towel. A little bit's okay. It's flavor. Won't hurt you. Too much kind of leaves that greasy taste in your tongue, and you just don't want that. So again, with the chicken, I'm going to put that in next. I'm going to grab my pasta here that I had previously cooked and set aside. I'm going to dump it all in there all at once. Now remember, your pan's still on low, so you kind of got to do it somewhat quick so that way you don't scorch the bottom of your sauce and ruin it, especially at this point. And then I'm going to go ahead and mix it all up from the bottom to the top, side to side, left to right, up and down. Careful not to splatter. It is hot. It will burn you. But then again, it is so good, so you don't want to do that, and you don't want to waste any of it. So then once it's all done, we'll cut the heat, and then, of course, you do want to taste it. So I have my son PJ here. He's going to let you know how it tastes, and, of course, I'm going to sneak in and grab a bite. So I hope you guys learned something. I hope you like it. If you did, if you liked it and enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up. Give me a comment with any questions, concerns, more stuff you would like to see. And if you do want to see more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe. Hope you guys have a great night.